a couple more people to show up first, or we want to get started?
It's up to you guys.
Okay. Are we already recording?
Yeah, the stream is live. I just started it.
Okay, let me go get Edmund, and then we'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
Sure.
Edmund, come on.
Do you have anything prepared today, Rice? Or I keep saying Rice because that's how I pronounced it in a book when I was a kid. It's Reese. Sorry.
No, I don't. I am slowly but surely getting my voice back into shape, but it's still a long ways to go.
Okay. Well, Edmund, do you want to do your poem?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is your book? Oh, here it is. Okay. Now you're going to have to do it loud. Uncross your legs. There you go. You're going to have to do it loud. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Go ahead, Edmund. You have to do louder than that.
Dragon. How to sway a dragon. A story you.
Okay, Edmund, you're going to have to be louder than that, honey. We can't hear you. Ready?
To slay a dragon. How to slay a dragon. A story you
think you've heard.
You think you heard. To slay this mighty dragon, you use not that sword of the war. You must slay this one with humor to get him on his back. You must amuse him to make the dragon laugh. A joke, a story, a series some will do. Once you have the beastie wrapped, he will share his treasure with you. This is not just any treasure, but one full of knowledge too, but a library of lessons in book form to share with you. His treasure is not gold or a scroll through him. It's knowledge of places and people and things you don't condemn. So if you see this dragon, do not dispatch him. Tell a joke, make him laugh, and then he will tell you a secret. More possibles precious to his heart. He will show you his treasure of knowledge that is made more dear than any art.
Could you hear that at all, Reese?
Yes.
Okay.
He did wonderfully.
Okay. So that was to slay a dragon. Does anybody else have anything about a dragon?
I have a poem as well.
Please.
Likened unto the jackal of the bows, a prince the foremost of the westerners, wherever evil in this kingdom goes, there find him Husky, strong though young in years. One day the princess up and disappeared, I kidnapped, or so did we all assume. And lo, a mounted Nysian horse reared, Husky charged off with sword, shield, and plume. Lighting at a cavern deep and dark, he found a dragon sleeping in the den. He saw its fear and tossed it roasted lark. And thus she was a princess once again. For violence does not all problems solve, yet here doth food the evil curse resolve.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Ancient version of a Snickers ad.
I love Silk.
I wrote one a while ago for a competition, and it's to the MICKEYMOUSE, except dragons.
Go ahead. You're in queue.
I haven't done it in a while, so if it sucks, still applaud. The quiet, serene, delicate town of Brock received a note, inscribed in gilded lettering, demanding from the Dragon King that his child must be worshipped, fed, and sheltered as is every dragon's goal, of castle, home, and meat, and don't forget the gold, or there would be dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again. 3 days they had until the dreaded princeling would arrive. Day 1 they herded cattle as food to trade for lives, or there would be dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again. 2 days they had until the dreaded princeling would arrive. Day 2 the men slit pockets, the heaps of gold did shine, or there would be dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again. 1 day they had until the dreaded princeling would arrive. The local lord gave up his home and left the town sans pride, so there would not be dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again. Dawn rose on the day the dreaded princeling would arrive, but nobody came. The town went by the central square to wonder why there were no dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again. What shock? What shrieks? What laughter? Curled in a child's arms, a dragon did recline. The girl said, "This cat-like creature on my breakfast happily did dine. My 5 bright coppers he did claim, they are no longer mine. My pup no longer has a home, he chased her from her house. But the only one who needs to fear, my mother's pantry mouse, will have no dragons flaming through the skies, from cliffs to trees and back again."
Nice job. That was cool.
Thank you for the applause.
Yay!
They were deserved. Okay, does anybody have an epic tale about a young person? If not, I can start off. I actually wrote one.
Please go for it.
Okay. Barry and I actually did a filk of Ghostwriters in the Sky regarding Odin's Wild Ride for a feast for our Baron and Baroness of Fetberg. This story is about a child who was invited along on that ride. Odin's Hoard. Hans awoke on the day after he had turned 7 summers. He wondered if Odin would answer his plea this year. Both of his parents had joined Odin's Wild Ride. And this year, he wanted to be invited. His parents met there and were transformed and married, and they also found their purpose. Every year, Hans would ask his parents, "When will I be invited?" They would tell him, "When Odin wills it." As he laid down to pray to Odin, he then tried to sleep.
Let me mute myself.
But he can't. He's being called outside. So he goes to the front door where he finds Odin and all the bears and wolves and other animals. "My son, join my horde. A wolf of black you will be." Hans turned into a smoky coal black wolf on 4 legs. Down he went. They went to many doors that night, and he was surprised to see his favorite uncle's abode. His uncle answered as he came to the door. There was fear in his eyes. Odin, Hans asked, why do we come here? My uncle is a common man. No magic doth through him flow. Odin's eyes darkened. We hunt evil of the land. And then he showed a vision, Hans, in his mind. Hans' uncle beat his aunt and her daughters. His uncle was also shown as lazy and smoking his pipe, while Hans' aunt and her daughters did his work. He was not the man that Hans thought he was, and thus Hans' anger could not be contained. Odin changed his uncle into a boar and charged Hans with his demise. Hans chased this boar, this abuser, this swine. He chased him to the sea, where his instincts of the wolf took over him. The wolf stared at the boar's legs, who had drowned in the sea. Once Hans is done running with Odin's horde, he wound up back at home as morning came. His parents were so happy to see him. Hans' mother cried out, "My son is saved!" She then tells him his favorite uncle was not so lucky. He was found drowned in the sea. Hans tells his parents what Odin let him see in a vision. After hearing Hans' tale, he and his family went to bring his aunt and her daughters home. That's the end.
Needed to turn the microphone back on. That was lovely.
So does anybody else have a story of epic proportions?
Well, I do.
Oh, go for it.
Please.
This is called the naming of King Feridun's sons. Now after many years were passed, there were born to him 3 sons, whose mothers were of the house of Yamshid. And the sons were fair of mien, tall and strong, yet their names were not known to men, for Feridun had not tested their hearts. But when he beheld that they were come to years of strength, he called them about his throne, and bade them search out the king of Yemen, who had 3 daughters, fair as the moon, that they should woo them unto themselves. And the sons of Feridun did according to the command of their father. They set forth unto Yemen, and there went with them a host, countless as the stars. And when they were come to Yemen, the king came forth to greet them, and his train was like to the plumage of a pheasant. Then the sons of Feridun gained the hands of the daughters of Serv, king of Yemen, and departed with them to their own land. And Serv gave to his new sons much treasure laid upon the backs of camels, and umbrellas too did he give unto them in sign of kingship. Now it came about that when Feridun learned that his sons were returning, he went forth to meet them and prove their hearts. So he took upon him the form of a dragon that foamed at the mouth with fury, and from whose jaws sprang mighty flames. And when his sons were come near unto the mountain pass, he came upon them suddenly, like to a whirlwind, and raised a cloud of dust about the place with his writhings, and his roaring filled the air with noise. And he threw himself upon the eldest born. And the prince laid down his spear and said, "A wise and prudent man striveth not with dragons." And he turned his back and fled before the monster, and left him to fall upon his brothers. Then the dragon sprang upon the second, and he said, "An it be that I must fight, what matter if it be a furious lion, or a knight full of valor?" So he took his bow and stretched it. But the youngest came towards him, and, seeing the dragon, said, "Thou reptile, flee from our presence, and strut not in the path of lions. For if thou hast heard the name of Feridun, beware how thou doest us, for we are his sons, armed with spears and ready for the fight. Quit, therefore, I counsel thee, thine evil path, lest they plant upon thy head the crown of enmity." And the glorious Feridun, when he had thus made trial of their hearts, vanished from their sight. But presently he came again with the face of their father, and many warriors, elephants, and cymbals were in his train. And Feridun bore on his head the cow-headed mace, the kawani, the apron of kawa, the kingly satin, The kingly standard was waved above his head. Now when the sons saw their father, they alighted from their seats and ran to greet him, and kissed the ground before his feet. The cymbals were clashed, and the trumpets brayed, and the sounds of rejoicing were heard around. Then Pharadon raised his sons, and kissed their foreheads, and gave unto them honor according to their due. And when they were come to the royal house, he prayed to God that he would bless his offspring. And calling them about him, he seated them upon thrones of splendor. Then he opened his mouth, and said unto them, O my sons, listen unto the words that I shall speak. The raging dragon, whose breath was danger, was but your father, who sought to test your hearts, and having learned them, gave way with joy. But now will I give to you names, such as are fitting unto men. The first one shall be called Psalm. May thy desires be accomplished in the world. For thou soughtest to save thyself from the clutches of the dragon, nor didst thou hesitate in the hour of flight. A man who fleeth neither before an elephant nor a lion, call him rather foolhardy than brave. And the second, who from the beginning showed his courage, which was as ardent as a flame, I will call him Tur, the courageous, whom even a mad elephant cannot daunt. But the youngest is a man prudent and brave, who knoweth both how to haste and how to tarry. He chose the midway between the flame and the ground, as it beseemeth a man of counsel, and he hath proven himself brave, prudent, and bold. Iraj shall he be called, that the gate of power may be his goal. For first did he show gentleness, but his bravery sprang forth at the hour of danger.
Wow. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Sierra, you know that your sisters could join us as well. This is a youth point gathering. If they wanted to sing or tell a story as well, they're more than welcome to join us.
I'm not sure which one's home. I think only Joy is home, and she's busy listening to Words of Radiance on her book.
Just thought
I tried to kidnap them, but Joy's an introvert first and foremost.
That's okay. If you have something, please go ahead.
The closest that I would have is Ballad of the Basilisk, but you've heard that one before a few times, I think. I played it on the last youth point that you did.
Is there something else you'd like to share?
Nothing that fits with the theme of a young hero.
What about virtues?
Oh geez, I don't know. Mostly ones I've done for like events. Stepping up, invocation. Man, I have one about a squire getting really, really drunk on Taylor Swift, but nope.
Ooh,
No,
Squire's getting
appropriate
drunk.
for the audience.
Oh wait, this is.
I mean, it's hilarious, and it doesn't have like anything really.
This is a PG crowd, hun. We're not doing drunken.
Oh.
I actually have one about knightly virtue.
Mm.
Shall I start with that first?
Why not?
Okay. This is called What Knightly Virtue Means to Me. Now, there's a prologue. One of the most common threads that is clear in all who write about the knightly virtues is that they all agree they are trying to be the best version of themselves at their time. This piece is inspired by A Squire's Path to Knighthood by Lowenhart Hunt of Wildmoor and Chasing the Seven Knightly Virtues by Dom Marissa. How do I learn the steps of knighthood? Loyalty, courage, largesse, fealty, mercy, franchise sound like just words to me. So asking those on the path, it seems, they put it best. They feel it simply is. I need to be the best me I can be. This is the path to true chivalry. Speak up to defend the meek with fear. This will bring you to courage that you seek. If you see someone without food or a place to sleep, provide for them. This embodies both largesse and mercy. Faith is about belief. Stand up for your ideals, and this virtue you will reap. Also helping your fellow man when they are weak. This shows true nobility. The price may be steep. Selflessness might cause you to turn the other cheek. Loyalty to king and country may cause you to fall and weep. So due deference and sacrifice might bring you to your knees. Prowess will help you to defend your keep. Humility to bring hope to those who with you fealty seek. During these times, on the path where you stumble, though they make you humble, accept the franchise of your actions, pay your debts, whether they be to king, country, friend, or foe.
That was nice. I'm trying to indoctrinate Helen into coming and doing something.
Hi.
Hold on.
Hi, Helen! Come join us!
Is your camera on?
Yes,
We're on YouTube, so
it's live.
What? How many are watching?
Not that many. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
you have a beautiful singing voice.
She needs to look up the lyrics.
Okay, that's fine. Elsa, do you have something you could do while we're waiting?
Yeah,
Let's
so you
see.
do something.
I mean, I could play something on my mandolin.
Go ahead.
You ready? Are you ready?
No, but I'll do it.
Do it.
Okay. Can I back out last minute? Is that allowed?
No, that's not allowed. You volunteered. You're a prisoner now.
Okay, fine.
I'll buy you something at McDonald's
we do
later.
not force people. No, we do not force people to perform.
No, I'm driving her. It's okay.
You have to get me something at McDonald's?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Go for it.
You do have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
There will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword. He will tear your city down. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, ole, lay, oh Lord. He will tear your city down. Ole, ole, oh Lord. There will come a poet whose weapon is his word. He will slay you with his tongue. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, 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 oh Lord. He will slay you with his tongue. Ole, ole, oh Lord. There will come a ruler whose brow is laid in thorn, smeared in oak of David's bow. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, 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 oh Lord. Smeared with oak like David's bow. Ole, ole, oh Lord. Ole, ole, oh Lord. He will tear your city down. Ole, ole, oh Lord.
Nice.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
The captions
I
had
owe
a
you.
lot
Thank
of
you
fun
for
with
joining
that one.
us. Chicken nuggies. She's shy, but probably
But she comes from a huge family, lots of people, and most of her sisters sing.
Man, she's definitely, if she can get out of her shell, she's definitely a good candidate for Bard at some point. Bard of anything.
Definitely. Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to share? Christine? Christine, do you have something to share, hon?
Hi, are you referring to me?
How do you say your name? I know I'm butchering it. I'm sorry.
Pristine, like the English word.
Christine. Oh, okay. Christine, got it. Would you like to share something next?
I've already shared a poem and a story.
The floor is yours if you'd like to share something else.
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I wonder if anybody's going to be joining us at some point, hopefully.
I
Brenna,
unfortunately have
expecting it to
absolutely
be
nothing that is kid-friendly.
I mean, at this point with no kids, you can probably do a fair warning. Here's where all
Well, no, because
No?
this is because honey, my office is Youth Point. I have to be careful about that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Especially because the thing is being recorded and kids are gonna watch this.
All right,
Yes.
that's fair.
I have to be careful. Okay, let me see what else I've got.
Here,
I also have to have my large bard book here.
I can probably do Shalon's lullaby.
That is creepy, though.
I love it so much. It's a lullaby, so it's for kids, technically.
Yeah, if they're dwarves. Let's see if we can find something a little nicer than that.
I love that song, though.
It is beautiful. Go ahead. It is technically PG. It doesn't have anything inappropriate in it.
Let's see. Now go to sleep in chasms deep, with darkness all around you. The rock and dread may be our bed, so sleep, my baby dear. Now comes the storm, but you'll be warm. The wind will rock your basket. The crystal smile will glow sublime. So sleep, my baby dear. And with the sun, it won't be long. You'll sleep, my baby dear. See, not that creepy.
The rest of it is.
Well, that's if you're listening to the fully orchestrated version.
That's true. I was hoping we were going to get more of our group like we did last time, but oh well, I guess it's going to be us entertaining. Let me see here.
I actually do need to take a break because I'm dog sitting for my aunt, so I'm gonna run down the road and make sure that the dogs get out so they don't pee all over the floor. So if you guys are still back when I return, I'll join in again. But if not, I'm kind of pressing it as is. I've got to go make sure they're okay.
We understand. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, anytime. Have a good one.
Okay, bye. Trying to find one that I can sing. Okay, trying to find this song. Okay, This is actually a song that I've actually taught youth to sing because it's fairly easy. I actually learned it in fair, believe it or not. It's called Hey Ho. In the Bard book, it's only one verse. I actually know 3 that I can sing. It's usually done in round, but since I don't have anybody else to sing it with me, I'm going to be singing it myself, the 3 parts that I know.
Does it work with 2 parts?
I'm sorry?
Does it work with 2 parts?
It can work with 2 parts. I've sang it with 2 parts. I've sang it with 3. I've sang it with 4.
Okay.
One of the parts is the Hey Ho, which is actually in the Bard book. And then one of the other parts is the second part. I've actually done it with 2 parts. The problem is we can't sing because we're going to time stream differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and start it. Hey ho, nobody home. Meat nor drink nor money have I none, but still I will be merry. Hey ho, nobody home. Meat nor drink nor money have I none, but still I will be merry. Hey ho, nobody home. Hey ho, nobody home. Rose, 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 will I ever see thee wed? I will marry at thy will, sire, at thy will. Rose, 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 will I ever see thee wed? I will marry at thy will, sire, at thy will. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight. I am the dangers of this dark night. Ah, poor bird, take thy flight. I am the dangers of this dark night. So that's that song. As I said, it was fairly simple. So I would teach like the hey ho part to the children, and then I would have a secondary group learn the rose red, and then I usually did the ah poor bird unless I could find a child or somebody else who was confident enough to sing that part because it is soprano. Do you
I can
have
do a
any
piece.
piece? I didn't want this to be the British show.
Piece.
Piece.
It comes from part 3 of the opening poem from the Cantares Mexicanas. I say, I cry out with sadness, that I will not annoy you, whom he loves. Soon they kept silent. Then the beautiful hummingbird came to speak. Singer, whom do you seek? I answer him immediately. I say, where are the beautiful flowers with which I must create joy in those who are like you? Later, they warbled intensely to me. Singer, we must show them to you. Perhaps in this way, you will truly give joy to those who are like us, the lords.
I'm still looking.
I'll be doing that piece later on tonight at Iberian Bardic Circle.
Well, they will enjoy it. I don't think I have the song that Fairy and I made. I think that's in a different Bard book. Well, while we kind of have a few moments, something that I wanted to state is, and I've put this out on the Youth Point Facebook page and also on Cynagua and the Mists and the Wests. If you have some ideas for the next Bardic, please get them to me. The pieces that you've heard tonight or today, whenever you happen to see this broadcast, were actually created because somebody wanted to hear something about dragons. We had someone write in and say, well, let's do an epic journey about somebody who's a youth or an animal. And then we also had the idea of virtues. So if you have an idea of something that you would like to hear on the Youth Point Bardic, or a topic that you'd like to have people write on, that would be great to get that information to us so that we can make sure that this is an enjoyable Bardic for everybody. One of the other songs that I have taught in Youth Point is something called Mountain Time. The nice thing about this song is it is a simple little song, easy to teach, and actually one of the children who comes to Youth Point on a regular basis requests it to be sang when she's there. If any other youth at heart would like to join us, we do not have a problem with you coming and doing poems or songs or stories. The only thing we do ask is they please, again, stay PG. See if I can find Mountain Time. Okay. So, Mountain Time. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, my laddie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, my laddie, go? If my true friend I should lose, I will surely find another, where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, my laddie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, my laddie, go? Oh, I will build my friend a bower near yon clear crystal fountain, and upon it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will ye go, my laddie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the bloom. Where ye go, my laddie, go? Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Where ye go, my laddie, go, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. There ye go, my laddie, go. Well, let's see.
What is your name again? Can you repeat that?
Oh, it's Brenna.
Brenna. Would you care for one more piece?
Please.
O thou who hast offended against every duty, who disownest thy son because that his hair is white, though thine own resembleth the silver poplar, and to whom a bird seemeth fit nurse for thine offspring, wilt thou abjure all kinship with him forever? When Saum had heard these words, he was contrite, and called about him his army, and set forth unto the mountains. And when they were come unto the mount that is raised up to the Pleiades, Saum beheld the Simurgh and the nest, and a stripling that was like unto himself walking around it. And his desire to get unto him was great, but he strove in vain to scale the crest. Then Saum called upon God in his humility, and God heard him, and put it into the heart of the Simurgh to look down and behold the warrior and the army that was with him. And when she had seen Saum, she knew wherefore the chief was come, and she spake and said, O thou who hast shared this nest, I have reared thee and been to thee a mother, for thy father cast thee out. The hour is come to part us, and I must give thee again unto thy people. For thy father is Saum the hero, the Peliva of the world, greatest among the great, and he has come hither to seek his strength, and splendor awaiteth thee beside him. When the youth had heard her words, his eyes were filled with tears, and his heart with sorrow, for he had never gazed upon men, though he had learned their speech. And he said, Art thou then weary of me? Or am I no longer fit to be thy housefellow? See, thy nest is unto me a throne, thy sheltering wings a parent. To thee I owe all that I am, for thou wast my friend in need. And the Simurgh answered him, saying, I do not send thee away for enmity, O my son. Nay, I would keep thee beside me forever, but another destiny is better for thee. When thou shalt have seen the throne and his pomp, my nest will sink in thine esteem. Go forth, therefore, my son, and try thy fortune in the world, but that thou mayst remember thy nurse who shielded thee, and reared thee amid her little ones, that thou mayst remain under the shadow of her wings. Bear with thee this feather from her breast, and in the day of thy need cast it into the fire, and it will come like unto a cloud and deliver thee from danger. Thus she spake, and raised him in her talons, and bore him to the spot where Saum was bowed to the dust in penitence. Now when Saum beheld the sun, whose body was like unto an elephant for strength and beauty, he bent low before the Simurgh, and covered her with venison. And he cried out and said, O Shah of birds, O bird of God, who confoundest the wicked, mayst thou be great forever. But while he yet spake, the Simurgh flew upwards, and the gaze of Saum was fixed upon his son. And as he looked, he saw that he was worthy of the throne, and that there was neither fault nor blemish in him, save only his silvery locks. Then his heart rejoiced within him, and he blessed him and entreated his forgiveness. And he said, O my son, open thine heart unto the meanest of God's servants, and I swear unto thee, in the presence of him that made us, that never again will I harden my heart towards thee. and that I will grant unto thee all thy desires. Then he clothed him in rich robes, and named him Zal, which being interpreted meaneth the aged, for he was albino. And he showed him unto the army. And when they had looked upon the youth, they saw that he was goodly of visage and of limb, and they shouted for very joy. Then the host made them ready to return unto Seisan. The cattle drummers rode at their head, mounted upon mighty elephants, whose feet raised a cloud of dust that rose into the sky. And the tabrets were beat, and the trumpets brayed, and the cymbals clashed, and sounds of rejoicing filled the land, because that Saum had found his son, and that Zal was a hero among men.
That was
you.
wonderful. Well, Reese, it's 3:01, and it doesn't look like anybody else is joining us.
Nope.
So I think we're going to go ahead and stop it here. I want to thank all the bards that joined us today. Hopefully we'll be able to get more to join us next time. So we will talk with you at a later date.
Thank you, Brenna.